guys, I'm back with a new video. So in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a fall damage script. So this fall damage script will damage the player when he jumps from a really high place. So first I'm going to be making a platform so the player can actually be on top and jump. um, let's actually make it pretty high, right? And yeah, just make this platform here, and I'll anchor it and can collide. Yeah, okay, great. Now since we have that, we gotta do the scripting part. So to do that, I'm gonna go to subscript service and insert a script, and of course I'm gonna delete that. Anyways, the first thing we need to start is by the player added event. So um, we are gonna be making the player added event right here, and of course it's gonna be player, and of course we're gonna need the character. So let's say player dot character or player dot character added wait. And outside of this, I'm gonna create a function called fall damage, and here I'm gonna say character, right? So um, inside of this function, for now we're gonna forget this. Actually, let's just put this, right? We'll call the function here, and make sure this is function, not local. That's my bad. Anyways, here what you're gonna do is start by getting the root part, right? So the root part is usually the character's primary part, which is the humanoid root part, and I'm gonna actually be drawing an example on how this is gonna work. So how this is gonna work is so this is the platform, and if the player is here, uh, there's a y value for the player. So imagine it's 80, right? And then when the player jumps, um, imagine the y value here is uh, 10, right? And so when the player is jumping, there's a state for this. The state is gonna be free falling, right? So yeah, free falling. And once the player lands, the state is gonna be landed, and we are gonna be checking if the state is free falling, and if it is, then we're gonna add this with, I mean minus this, subtract this with this, so it's gonna be 70. And what this does is it says the player jumped 70 studs, right? The player from here to here to 70 studs, right? And if it's 70 studs and you want the player to take damage, then we damage the player. But if you want it like, if you want the player to take damage at 80 studs, then this does not count unless you jump around here, which is 0. So then it can be 80 because we'll be adding 0 to this. So it's going to be 80 and we'll take damage. To see that, imagine we, so I'm going to go back here. Imagine it's 70 studs, and as long as the player jumps and it's over 60 studs, then we take damage. Then we're gonna say if the final, which is 70, is over 60, then the humanoid is gonna be damaged, right? We're gonna just minus 20 health, or any health you wanna minus, right? I hope you understood what I meant there, but I think you'll get it when I script this part. So the primary part has a y value, so that's what we're gonna get now. Let me just check if I'm recording. Okay, yeah. So let's do that part. So we say character dot primary part, and that's the root part, of course. And then what we're gonna be doing is when the player we need to detect if the player is free falling. So for that we need the humanoid, because if you remember, I talked about the state, right? To get the state, we should have the humanoid. Okay, the humanoid records all the state of the play, what the play is doing. If it's jumping, then the state is going to be jumping. So we're going to get the humanoid character find first child and humanoid, right? And then the next thing which we should do is so if you go to object browser here and tap Edge on the keyboard and find the humanoid object, there's something called there's an event, right? Let me just find it for you. State changed, right? This event will return the humanoid old state and the new state. So this is what we'll be using for this script. So we're going to say humanoid dot state changed, connect to function, and it's going to be returning the old state and the new state. So inside of this we're going to say old state and new state. um, so there's one more thing we're going to add to this, which is water, right? um, it's going to be water. So uh, if the player lands on water, then the state is not going to be landed, it's going to be called swimming, right? Since if the player lands on water, then he's swimming, and if the state is swimming, then we don't want the player to take damage, unless you want the player to take damage, right? This looks really complicated, but it's not. Okay, anyways, so we're gonna do that too. So now that we get the old state and the new state, we're gonna say if new state equals to, so now we are in the phase of, okay, let me just go back like this so we can explain while explaining, right? So I'm trying to make you understand while doing this so that it will be easier for you to do it on your own, right, the next time. So um, so the new state here, so we're gonna check if the new state, so the player is here, and when it jumps up, obviously the state changes to jumps, and then the state will be jumping, and then when the player is going down, it's gonna be called free falling, right? um just put ref. Okay, so I'm gonna say enum dot humanoid state type. Over here we have all the states. There's so much states here which you can loop and check through. Even this dead, right? There's so much. So we're gonna go to free fall. So the state is gonna be free fall. Whenever the state is free fall, right? Then we are gonna be getting the y, right? So when when so when the player jumps from this point, it's going down, right? So this point is going to be the y, right? So this is going to be y1, and the place where the player lands is going to be y2. Okay, so the y1 is going to be recorded here. So let's come back here, local y1, local y2, right? So we're going to record the y1, which is going to be rootbot dot position dot y, right? So as an example, we're going to take y as 50 right now. Imagine the y is 50 right now, so this can be 50, right? And now this event will fire whenever the player whenever the player state changes. So when the player is free falling and lands here, the state changes again. So the new state is gonna be landed, right? So this event is gonna fire again. So when it's firing again, we're gonna say else if new state equals to enum dot humanoid state type is gonna be landed, right? Then we're gonna record this, right? So y2 equals to rootpart position dot y, right? So now the player is free falling, and when it lands, the new y2 is gonna be let's take it as 5, right? Now now as you can see, y1 is 50 and y2 is 5, right? And we're gonna minus both of this, right? So it's gonna be 45, right? I can't that, but here we're gonna now when the player lands, we're gonna check, right? So if and brackets y1 minus y2, right? And it's 45 here, but this is just an example, guys. The y will be different in our game because, of course, yeah, and this will return whatever the number which is. So as the example shows, it's gonna be 45. Although it's not gonna be 45, right? Whenever you jump from different heights, and we take it as 45, and if the 45 is bigger, this way you're gonna put the fall damage height. So right now, if the player falls 45 studs down, I want the player to take damage. So I'm gonna say 45. Then here the player fell over 45 studs down, right? Then we're gonna damage the player, which we can damage here, but we're not gonna damage just yet, cause um because if there can be water, right? If there's water, then if there's water here instead, then I want the player to take less damage, right? So for to do that, we should do something else, which is uh, okay. So here I'm gonna say if new state equals to enum dot human state type dot swimming, right? If the new state is swimming, and make sure here say if old state equals to enum dot human state type free falling, right? Make sure you do this, or whenever the player lands from anything, it's just gonna do stuff which are annoying, right? So I'll do this and just say and new state and new state. So that's how it's gonna be for now, the script. And if it's swimming, then the player's gonna be taking different damage. But else, player not swimming, player. Oh no, player swimming and player not swimming, right? So if the player is not swimming, then humanoid take damage, let's say 50, but if the player is swimming, take damage 5, okay? So it reduces the damage if you jump into water. So now this should pretty much work. I hope you understood what I showed here, but I'm going to be now play testing it and showing it to you guys. So the current height here is, if you can go to this spawn part and go to the position, it's 119. Let me just round it up to 120, right? Right, so 120. Then the player should be taking 50 damage, but I'm gonna make it 100 so we can see the player die, right? So since our fall damage height is what is it, 45 studs, we should be taking damage. So let me just test it out. Oh no. One more thing I forgot to mention is come back here, right? And do something called type a new event called character added connect fall damage, because whenever the player respawns, we want the script to again work. I'm on top and we're on 120 starts. We should die, okay? We should die, so we jump. There we go, we die. Now I'm gonna be adding some water terrain so that we can test it out by the water thing. So okay guys, so I did a really big mistake, and that is putting the swimming thing here, because if it lands, then we land it, right? We're not, this will only run whenever we land on land, right? So there's no possible way we can detect if you landed on water if you do it here. So what we gotta do is I'm gonna be cutting on uh, uh, this part, right? I'm gonna be cutting this, and here we will be deleting these parts, right? And send this back, right, like that, and come to outside of this end and say else if old state equals to enum dot human state type free falling, and new state equals to enum dot state type dot swimming. Then the place swimming, and of course we need to again record the y2 thing. So root part dot position dot y, and again we're gonna do the same thing again. So y2, okay, then 45, then humanoid take damage, and let's say 25. So now whenever the player jumps to the water, we should take 25 damage. So we're gonna be testing that out here. So let me just take the humanoid's health again, and right, so not gonna jump. As you can see, we took 25 damage, right? So that's how you do that, and yeah, it works now. So yes guys, that's how you do a 4 damage script. I hope you learned something from this, not just copying the script. I want you all to know what it does and how it works. That's why I tried my best to explain like this. But if you don't still understand, please leave a comment down below so I can help you. But yeah, see you in the next one guys. Peace.